Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Pew pew! And achievement unlocked, one nag too many. That is how you annoy the Moogle on the world map. I always find it endlessly entertaining. You keep calling the Moogle and then pressing cancel without asking it to do anything. Goes through several stages. You're starting to tick me off, Kupo. Don't call me if you don't need me, Kupo. I'm sharpening my knife, Kupo. And finally, stop it, stop it, stop it, pew pew. Which I find so adorable and hilarious. But however much you annoy the Moogle, and as we hinted at in the last video, Moogles are really powerful. You don't want to really annoy them. But however much you do annoy them, they will always come to your aid when you want to save your game. Which is nice. Yeah, so there's that. Anyway, that was just a little bit of fun here. Just to explain, we are out on the Mist continent. So, if you press select on the PlayStation or back on the Xbox, you can bring up various different sizes of the game map. So this is the Mist continent, this big fat continent here. This is the first of the maps that you get in the game. You get another one later on. So we've got Alexandria here. That was the city we spent some time wandering around. Evil Forest here that we've just made our way through. Your location is marked with this blue indicator. And the Ice Cavern down here. Now this is our destination. However, before we get there, there's one or two things that we can actually do. I've already managed to annoy the Moogle on the world map, which is always good for a giggle. And Zidane hinted at North and South Gate. Now the way that the system, the way that things work, is that on the Mist continent, this is one continent of many, by the way, so this is just the first continent map. On the Mist continent, there is, as you may have noticed, mist around. This mist spawns monsters and is generally unpleasant. This will actually form a crux for the story later on. But for now, all you need to know is that the Mist continent is covered by mist. Airships run on mist. They use mist as their fuel source. But this limits how high they can go, because the mist settles down into those deep recesses in the valleys and whatnot. So if you look at the map, around here, for example, you have a mountain range. And so the airships aren't able, or the airships that are commonly in use aren't able to go over these mountains. And so you have gates through the mountain range, these giant gates, to allow you to go from one region of the continent, say over here, this is the whole kingdom ruled by Alexandria, to the next. There are three I guess main city-states, if you will, on the Mist continent. Well, sort of four, and we're gonna come across them later on. We have Limblum down here, for example, and there will be a gate linking the two. Now, we're gonna go and explore those gates before we get any further. So what we're gonna do, rather than heading to the Ice Cavern, we're gonna follow this kind of rock face around, and of course in the process we're going to come across, and I should have actually equipped things to garnet, I'll do that in a moment. We're going to come across some bad guys. So here we have goblins. They're not particularly powerful, they don't pose a massive threat to you. Steiner hit one of them, and Zidane killed the other. Goblin Punch does 9 damage to VV. I'm quaking in my custom-made baby seal leather boots, and there we go. Both the goblins are taken down. They're some of the weakest enemies in the game. They're thoroughly pathetic. Nothing that your heroes can't overcome. Didn't drop anything. So while I think of it, let's just have a quick look at people's equipment and whatnot. So Garnet, we have a rod, we haven't got a replacement for that. A leather hat, we'll take the leather hat. She comes with a silk shirt, conveniently enough, so she's already learning the spell Cure. We'll give her a wrist, just not because she can use it for the abilities, but it increases her stats. Silk shirt is the best, and we don't have an accessory. Let's just mess around with other people's equipment. Mage Masher, leather hat, not really much choice there. Wrist, that's fine. And we're going to swap the silk shirt back out for the leather shirt, because then we can continue to learn the ability to protect girls. Again, I don't think there's too much to do with Vivi here. He'll learn fire pretty quickly. And we'll stick with the rubber helm for now, and we'll learn Minor Strike. Nah, we're actually going to swap that out for the bronze helm, because minus strike is not very useful at the moment, and we'll learn that when we equip the iron sword in a bit. Anyway, bronze gloves, that's fine. Bronze armor, that's also fine. So, let's get to people's abilities. Now, Garnet, much like Vivi, doesn't have any support abilities yet, so we don't need to worry about that. You get Cure, because she's got the silk shirt, so she learns Cure initially. Also, Panacea, that removes Venom and Poison status effects. So, Poison is a pretty common status effect in these style games, does damage over time. Venom is poison, but with an added stop to it. If all of your party gets Venom on you, game over. So that's a very nasty status effect. Panacea cures them both. You've also got Protect here. It's greyed out because you can't use it outside of battle. This would reduce the amount of physical damage that we take. Honestly, not all that useful if we're going to be blunt about it. You've also got these up here. These are different Eidolons, summons. Garnet can summon, but not yet. These are different summons that Garnet technically knows, but you can't currently use. She doesn't have control over them, if that makes sense. They're just innate. And this, again, is going to form a crux for some story later on. So, let's just check. We'll have Protect Girls on for Zidane. This might actually do something now. Basically, it's cover, but for only females in your party. So Zidane will intercept attacks directed at the moment, Freya, but when we at the moment Garnet, but when we get them it will also apply to the other females in your party. And Steiner, we've got Bird Killer, we'll have Bug Killer because why not? Antibody, and there we go. So that's all of our abilities set as well. You'll notice Garnet and Vivi are both in the back row. So let's just continue on our merry journey. Just using the shoulder buttons to change my camera angle. Another battle, yippee! The other thing, of course, about going and doing these little side bits is that it does get you some experience. Now, another couple of bad guys. We've got another goblin. Not that we really care too much about him, but let's just take him out. And we've got this snaky guy. Nothing really to say about the python here. It does cast thunder, which does do a respectable amount of damage, as you can see there. We unequip the rubber helm, so you might want to put the rubber helm back on it, to be fair, and does have more health than... Also does rapid fire, which does a respectable amount of physical damage. It's not a massive threat to you, but these things can appear in some numbers, and they are considerably more powerful than the goblins, which are just pretty cool. But nothing hugely problematic for your characters to overcome. Echo Screen there is an item that heals the silent status effect. So, here we come across question mark. Ooh. So, we're going to enter this and see what it is. Where are we? I think this is the North Gate. It's beneath the mist. It lies between Alexandria and Bermesia. So Bermesia is the second of the main city-states on this continent, of which, as I mentioned, there are 3, and I mentioned the third one, Limblum, earlier on. I think it's called Melda Arch or something. So this is what, basically, the gates have a foot passage entrance to allow you to get through the mountain, and there's also one for airships, because as I mentioned, the airships can't fly above the mountains. Fresh footprints, and the smoke rising. That flag, that is Alexandria's war banner. How dare they commit crimes in the name of Alexandria? I should like to arrest and punish them if the circumstances were different. Princess... ... So Steiner seems genuinely outraged by this. Let's get out of here. The princess, who you'd think would be, well, the cavern lies to the left of this arch, we'll follow the ledge. Although surely you'd navigate by north, south, east, west, whatever. The princess, who you'd think would be very angry about this, doesn't say anything, almost as if she was expecting it. Eye drops. This is hinting at stuff to come later on, of course. Anything else for me to pick up here? We'll come back to what the gate's got to offer in just a bit. Oh, there we go. Second chest. And there's a potion. And we're going to listen at the gate just to see if it's got anything interesting. Listen close. I can hear people and something that sounds like metal grinding. Maybe I can call out to someone inside. Anybody there? Woman's voice. Yes? That voice. It's a chick. What a sexy, husky voice. Yes, this is Zidane. For now, he's a bit like this. What are you doing in a place like this? I sell medicine. Wow. It must be tough. If you'd like, I can help. Wait a minute. I'm with Princess Garnet. That's too bad. It's worth pointing out that you're not with the princess in that sense. You're just accompanying her. So, do you mind selling me some of your medicine? Sure. More to the point, this allows you to buy potions if you think you should need it. Now, you don't, is the short version. Garnet can use cure, so you really... Well, no, let me slightly correct myself. There is a moment, after visiting this area, we're going to go to the ice cavern. At the end of the ice cavern is a boss, but you only fight that boss with Zidane because, well, story reasons. So you're not going to have Garnet with you. This is your last opportunity to stock up on any potions you might want to stock up on. Before that. Now, in my experience, you don't actually need to, so I'm not going to bother. But if you feel that you might want those potions in order to help you out in that fight, then I would say go for it. In fact, nah, shall I get a couple? Nah, I'm sure I'll be fine. Famous last words. But that is an opportunity for you to buy some potions if you should wish. Okay. And now that we've visited it, Northgate shows up on our map. So we have Bermesia over here, we know that much. We're just going to continue following the ledge around, to be honest. We're going to explore as much of this as we can, just so I can show you as much of this as possible. Bit of a forest over here. Another random battle. Is this going to be a new opponent or an old? This is a pair of Mews. Okay, new opponent. These are deceptively adorable. They're not a massive threat to you. They're weak to Beast Killer abilities, so Steiner with Beast Killer should be able to do a very respectable amount of damage to them. And Zidane with his basic attacks just does a lot of damage to them anyway. Oh no, I lie. They're not weak to Beast Killer apparently. I tell a lie. I thought they do, however, do stone, which if it hits can do a bit more damage, but it does often miss. So I apologise, Steiner's Beast Killer doesn't do a fat lot against them. That's slightly irritating. I was thinking they were weak to Beast Killer, but they are not. Nonetheless, the various killer abilities that Steiner has access to. So the Ice Cavern is just here, if you wish to enter it. I'm not going to enter it just yet. I'm just going to continue going around so that you can see this whole area, and then I'll come back to the Ice Cavern. So there you can see from that particular battle, Vivi learned the fire spell. And if we go to his equipment, for example, we can see that the Mage Staff, that's what it looks like when you've mastered an ability. He was getting experience from both the leather hat and from the Mage Staff. He has learned fire, but we don't have another weapon to replace it with. And we don't have a better hat for him either. So I'm going to stick with those two pieces of equipment for him, but he has learnt the ability on them, which means I can unequip that equipment and he will still know the ability fire, which is quite useful. So this whole region is split in half by a river that you can see here. And if you keep going down there, you run out of space. Oh no, alas, I am misremembering. From this particular bit, there is no bridge across the river, so you can't unfortunately get to the arch on the other side. So that being said, I'm just going to go back to the ice cavern, ready for us to jump into that region. Now, this fight I am actually going to point out, as this is kind of interesting, you can get a back attack, which is what we have here. Basically, the rows of your characters are swapped over, the bad guys have caught you unawares. And so we now have our physical characters actually in the back row. Now, what I'm going to do here is use Cure on my entire party because we're getting a little bit low on health. You have to use Change as the command to change row for each of your characters, and there we go, a nice cure on everyone, and we are back on full health. So now Zidane is in the front row, he's going to wail on these bad guys once again, and then we just need Dagger to be put back into the rear row, and we have regained usual party function. And then you can just wail on the bad guys as you usually would. Oh, I didn't mean for BB to attack that one, that was a mistake. Whoops, never mind. Zidane's going to use that. Doesn't matter. There we go. Fight over. So sometimes the enemies can ambush you when you get a back attack like that. It is also possible for you to do the reverse. Those events are fairly rare, however. And you can see we're pretty regularly getting items like potions and whatnot as we go. So we'll just keep following this around and we should... Am I going the right way? No, it's over this way. I'm such an idiot. And here we go once again at the entrance to the ice cavern. So, I am just going to check the health of my party members. I'm going to use Cure once again on the entire party. You can just hold the R1 effectively to target multiple targets. There we go, that fully heals my party. And we're also going to save the game here. And we're not going to annoy the Moogle in the process, as we have already done. So, save game. And that will be it for this particular video. Next time we're going to set foot inside the ice cavern. We will continue the story. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.